guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in, thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased about to bring you another Van Banner. This is the Adroit. Apologise if I'm pronouncing that right. Adroit, I pronounce it. But yeah, I love Van Banner, as you guys will know at this point. Van Banner is one of my favourite micro brands. LV over in Canada is doing some exceptional stuff. His attention to detail often for the price is really unparalleled, to be honest. And when you talk to him, he's an extremely passionate guy. He loves his brand, and I think that translates to a lot of the pieces that he's brought out to date. And I'm sure that will continue even further in the future. You got the past Parking Master and stuff in the past, and yeah, they've done some exceptional bits. But this one is a GMT stainless steel sapphire crystal, actually a sapphire sandwich. Let the cat out of the bag. NH34 movement, and all very competitively priced. I leave the price in front of me. I was good. They were good enough to send this over to me, but it's a watch that I really wanted to bring to your attention. Well sized, well finished, and is it in keeping with the rest of their watches? Because as I say, it's become one of my favourite micro brands at this point. So yeah, what do we expect? Hopefully by the end of the video you'll know if it's for you or not. If it is, please use the link in the description and head over there and purchase one. I've got the black one. They also do a blue one. I'll leave pictures up as we go through. But as always, say thanks for tuning back in. And I bet there's no better time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls. So this is the watch. A Van Banner, as you'll see. I do really like Van Banner, as I said in the intro. Yeah, this is what the watch came in again. Let's keep it safe inside. Tin Van Banner on top. Very primitive packaging, but I'm glad they spend their money on the watch. That's kind of what it should be like, in my opinion. That's the one I've got. I've got the black dial. You also got a blue dial, which I'll bring up next to me. So yeah, a couple of choices to choose from. And Van Banner are one of those brands that I really like. I like the sort of stuff they're doing. Inside you'll see that I've taken off 5 links for it to fit my wrist. There's an instruction card in there just to sort of help you not make any mistakes. Clean linen cloth, I will keep that in there, but I'll keep it nearby just in case we need it as we go through the review, because it is quite warm at home today. So yeah, just bear that in mind. So before we start, I will put some juice into this because I was wearing it for about a week and a half in preparation for the review, and I've since taken it off, so then it's just been sitting in the box. But if I take it out, I'll just put it to the sort of around the sort of 8:15 position. Just so we can get through stuff. There we go. So yeah, this is the Van Banner Adroit, I think is how you pronounce it. It's the VBAD211, and this was one that I was super keen to get in. It's one that I heard about for a while, and I was really super keen to get it in. So when LV sent it over, I was very happy. So thank you very much, my friend. I've been really enjoying spending time with this watch. Inside the watch, given it's a GMT, it's running a Seiko NH34 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. This is gonna be the movement of choice now in affordable watches, GMT automatic watches. That is, just because of the fact that it's not too expensive, but you got the reliability of known. It's a well-known entity of a brand. So it's 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, 40-hour power reserve. And this one's running about 7 seconds fast a day, which I'll take all day long on a watch sort of costing 200 something pound. I think that's definitely passable and well within the parameters set out by Seiko for their movement. So yeah, NH34 movement, also known as a 4R34, winning a Seiko watch. So that's the movement. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal on the front and back, is all 316L stainless steel. So you got a high brushed bezel. I do like the faceted edge they've put on there on the top of the sort of queen edging. I think that's really cool. Nice transitions throughout, really. You got sort of B blast at the side, you got Van Banner, you got a polished element, and obviously B blasting again on the top. The fact they've gone with B blasting alongside polishing offers a real distinct contrast throughout the watch, and you'll see that butterfly clasp. You open it up, you got a outer part of the exhibition case back is also be blasted, but yeah, that's the finishing throughout, and nice transitions, nicely done. I dare say it can't be the easiest to do. It's hard enough with brushed, but to do be blasted alongside polished. So yeah, look, they've executed it extremely well, in my humble opinion. So there you go. They're finishing through the case, bracelet, crown, bezel, clasp, end links, outer part of the exhibition case, but all 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of the watch is coming in at 13.1 millimeters. The case diameter, I normally measure from the 8 to the 2 o'clock position, it was coming at bang on 40 mil. And when you go from 9 to the 3, including the crown, it was coming at 42.7 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20. That does taper down to 18 mil at that butterfly clasp. And the lug to lug, tip to tip of the watch, again, it's a true lug to lug because it's female end links of the center link. It's coming at 47.3 millimeters. So good dimensions there, guys. It does hug the wrist nicely, as you probably would have seen in those outside shots that I did show during the intro, and I will show it in the wrist in studio conditions in a moment. The case back, as I said, this case back is a Sapphire exhibition case back, screwed down. You can make out the movement. No other bits of information on there, but yeah, there you go. The bezel is a 48 click bi-directional bezel. Excuse me, let me just dry my hands. Okay, so yeah, bi-directional bezel, which means you can go both sides, which is extremely helpful when operating a GMT watch. So yeah, 48 click, just to let you get those small time zones if you want little increments of time. You often get a 24 click, but yeah, they've gone for 48 and works well in practice. A little bit stiff. My hands are a bit sticky at the moment, so it is making it a little bit tricky, but it is a little bit stiffer than I probably would like. Also, just as a caveat to that, the crown is situated at the 3 o'clock position. It is a push-pull crown and signed with the Van Banner logo, which I do like. As I showed already, it's got Van Banner written on the side. I don't know if it really needed to be there, but that's LV's choice. It's his company, so there you go. The bracelet, as I said, tapers nicely, bead blasted, and it is positioned with screw pins, so it makes it exceedingly easy to change out. You'd have seen I took 5 links out for it to fit my wrist, and it does fit comfortable at this point with those links taken out. Butterfly clasp, nothing too fancy, does the job in operation. So there we go. The crystal covering the dial is a sapphire crystal. So yeah, what you have is a sapphire sandwich on this watch, which obviously is my favorite type of sandwich. It's sort of part of my BLT. The water resistance is cited as being 100 meters. So that'd give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear just in the top right. It's just above 146 grams with 5 links removed. With those 5 links back in, you're probably touching about 165, maybe even 170. But yeah, the good bit of heft for the size of what you're getting. And yeah, there we go. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So it's a sandwich dial. What it looks like to me is sort of like volcanic sand. If you've ever been to the beach and you've seen, if you've been to a beach where there's a volcano, you get volcanic sand, which is like dark sand, which is what this looks like. I think it looks really, really stunning. I do like these sort of effect dials. It's a sandwich dial, so recessed into there, you've got sort of battens and stuff that are loom filled, as are the hands. So I'll bring the loom up very quickly now, guys, so you can have a look at the loom. The loom is cool. I like the pink accents, to be honest. It's not going to be for everyone, but I like the fact it's something different. I like the fact with LV, when he does his watches, he's not trying to, it's not sort of like copying anyone else. He does come up with some unique stuff, and I think it looks really, really cool. So yeah, you've got the brushed hands, which is a nice contrast along the sort of black mottled effect dial, as I said, with volcanic sand. You got VB just below the batten at the 12. You got automatic GMT just above the batten at the 6. I like how they do that with the automatic, like a smiley face. I think that looks really, really cool. As I said, you got this a long sort of second hand, this sort of pink, in keeping with the rest of the hands they've used. Brushed hands for that minute, hour, and then you've got a white hand for the GMT. I like the way they've done the GMT hand. They've done it in such a way where it's a little bit wider, so you'll see now. So when the second hand passes, or when the other hand passes, you can still see it, which I think is a really cool concept, because sometimes with GMT watches it does disappear, but LV's got you covered with this. That is not the case with this watch. So there you go. NH34 movement inside, as I've said. So you take the crown out all the way, it will hack. You put it back in, it will start back up again. You can turn the crown. The crown's a good size on this as well, so no difficulty in interacting with it. You take it out to the, let me just, one second, take it all the way out, put it back just slightly. You shouldn't put the crown back. Just don't do as I do, do as I say. And then, like I say, if you put it to the first position, you can change the GMT time, and also you can change the date by turning it towards you. So towards you to change the date, away from you to change the GMT time. And there you go. That's the dial, guys. That's everything going on there. Really cool looking piece, in my opinion. But let me just pop it on the wrist even. Put my teeth back in and show you what it looks like on my wrist. So guys and girls, it is a bit more snug today on my wrist, given it's quite warm here. But you'll see. I think it's a really striking piece with the sort of bead blast effect alongside the polished, with the pink accents and stuff. I think it's one that, and like I said, with that polished edge going around the bezel, lots and lots of details going on there. Really cool looking watch. But there we are. Okay, so guys and girls, that would now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you'll know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants is not a great deal. This was one that I was really excited to get in. So again, thank you LV for sending it over. This is one that yeah, I really enjoyed spending time with. The two things I'll mention is, so there are two things, is I'll go with the writing on the case. Personal preference, he's more than entitled to it, as his brand obviously. In my opinion, oftentimes when you do that, I think it just makes it look a bit cheaper. I don't think there's any reason to put any etching on the side of the case. So that would be one thing that I would omit from the watch personally, but it's not terminal. I still really like it. And the bezel grip, as I've said, is a bit clammy here today, so it does make it a bit more tricky to try and engage with the bezel anyway. So that's not just a bezel, but it is a bit stiffer than I would like. Just give me 1 second, guys. In fact, what I'll do, I'll use the cloth, because as I said, I'm getting quite sweaty now. So I want to give you a good indication of how you turn the bezel, and this will make it quite a bit easier. So yeah, it is not bad in practicalities. Like I said, my fingers are getting all sweaty now because it's really warm here, but I didn't want to delay doing this video. But yeah, the bezel grip could have been slightly better. Not too bad, you can still turn it, no problems, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen it just be a bit looser. But there we go, they're the two things. I'll go with the writing on case and the bezel grip. What I think is pucker, considerably more, probably hardly surprising. The Sapphire sandwich, as I said, I do really like a Sapphire sandwich on a dial when it's on the watches that I have anyway. I think Sapphire crystal is the way to go. The dial, I think the dial, as I said, with that sort of volcanic sand effect, is really beautiful. The hands, yeah, the brushed hands, the proportion of the hands, the way they've done the GMT hand as well. The loom, I think the loom they've done really well. They've used Japanese loom as well to try and, for the pink and stuff, and on the bezel, and yeah, so they've tried different things. The loom is good. The bracelet, I'm a big fan. It's going to be one that polarizes opinion, but I like how they've done it. I like the bead blast with the polishing. I think it looks very cool. The finishing generally in terms of the transitions, like I said, it can't be easy to get those transitions from bead blast to high polish. So yeah, well done. And the uniqueness of the watch, it's one of those things that I do like with Van Banner. They don't look like copy and paste jobs ever. They look like they've put some real thought into their pieces. So yeah, the uniqueness of the watch. Just to surmise what I think is pucker, as I go with the Sapphire sandwich, dial, hands, loom, bracelet, finishing, and uniqueness of the watch. And guys and girls, would I recommend this watch? I think it goes without saying, of course I would, given the sort of disparity between the pants and pucker. I think it's a really cool piece, and I will be keeping this in my collection because I've got nothing like this. And like I said, I've not seen much like this either, so it's definitely one that I'll be keeping. So yeah, there we go. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, more importantly, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care guys, all the very best.